Hello, 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 community. Welcome to today's SAP Community call on the topic SAP Road Map Explorer and Industry Cloud. I'm Svea Becker from the SAP Community team, and I'm your moderator for today. And of course, I have a great speaker here with me. It's Isabel Rodriguez, and she is the SAP Road Map Explorer business owner. But Isabel, before you're going to start, let me briefly give our audience the information about how to submit questions. You can submit your questions via the comment field in YouTube. This requires that you are logged on in YouTube, and then you can submit your comment here. And after the session, we have some time for Q&A, so I can moderate this together and we will have a little conversation with your questions. So I'm looking forward to your questions, and that's all from my side. Isabel, I hand over to you. I wish you a great session and have fun.
Thank you, Svea. Thank you so much. So let me first start by sharing my screen. And there we are. So hello, SAP community. So I'm Isabel Rodriguez, as Svea just said. I'm the business owner of the SAP Road Map Explorer. And it's a pleasure to be here again today to present you with the latest on the Road Map Explorer to this great community that is really the SAP community. So we are now obliged to share with you our disclaimer, as this is now a live transmitted session or via YouTube. So there we are. And with that, then I would like to quickly present you my agenda for today. So we will start with a quick introduction of the SAP Road Map Explorer and its adoption. Again, a reminder on how anyone can access it. Then we will really focus on what's new. So that is really the topic around the business view and industry cloud, followed by a demo where I will show all the functionalities live in the tool. And with that, we will finalize with your Q&A, which is planned to last about 15 to 20 minutes. So then let's start. So the SAP Road Map Explorer is the tool of SAP really to showcase and to display our roadmaps, our product roadmaps to our customers. And really it contains all the latest content on product, process or industry roadmaps. The tool was built to work with a slice and dice functionality. As we call it, it has embedded a search as you type function. The tool is continuously updated and really includes a very easy and intuitive navigation. Also it has all the functionalities, it has an overview of all the functionalities that SAP delivered or is still in plan. And including, of course, also their value proposition. So you will see later on my demo. So we have the different chances to navigate to the roadmaps and, of course, also navigate to their details. Now, as I normally like to say, so numbers speak for themselves. And there we are with the Roadmap Explorer. So the numbers are really reflected from today, early in the morning. We've passed, and we're so immensely grateful for that, we've passed the threshold of 1 million page hits. And right now, unique external users are over 130,000. So it's really a huge milestone for us to have reached these numbers, and we're very happy with those. So it really means that the Roadmap Explorer is indeed recognized as the tool for roadmaps at SAP. Now, once again, I would like to recap for the community how can anyone has or gained access to the Roadmap Explorer. So this is a very popular question that we get very, very often. So there are two ways that users outside SAP can access the tool. One is, of course, the easiest and straightforward, I would say. It's by having an S user. So an S user is a log-on possibility that customers have. Just enter your S user and password and log in. That's it. Should you not have an S user, or perhaps not even being an SAP customer yet, then you need to, upon going to the page roadmaps.sap.com, you have really to register one time off. Basically it works like any normal user. You create your own user and your password, and that's it. So it's that easy. Now, let's move into really the topic of today's session. So the business view. The business view is a functionality that we launched in June last year. And recently we gave a new step into a view of more detailed content per product or per industry, or perhaps even by product cluster. So the roadmaps, priorities that are really under each business view, you can think of that like the priorities for a solution area, something like big topics that you would need to quickly present if you only had a very short time. So these are like the areas where a certain product or industry, or even perhaps a cluster, is involving, like thinking a strategic evolution of that area. And until then, or by then, this business view still led customers to a very detailed view of the roadmap, which we sometimes also address as a technical view, because indeed what you have here displayed on the right side is really reflecting very detailed functionalities. So it's really the kind of information that IT architects or maybe IT people at the customers' organizations are looking for. With this, and very recently, and I mean recently, that was just a week before Christmas, we went live with a brand new functionality, which really we were encouraged by different customer feedback received that we should have had also, in addition, deeper information per product or even per industry about what's coming next. And here it is. It was delivered, as I just mentioned, just before Christmas. And right now what I have live in the tool is something between, the high level of the cluster view, of the strategic priorities. Then I'm having now roadmap priorities per subcluster and per industry. And this still in the end leads here to the very detailed roadmap that we also, as I mentioned, call the technical view. So going forward, so I would like not just now to give, to start the way before I do my demo on what we have contained or what we display in the business view. So the business view at the cluster level, and recently also at the subcluster level, we include here the roadmap priorities. We include about 3 to 5 priorities per area. It can be more, it can be less, of course, it depends on the area. We also include the direct link to the very detailed roadmap of that product or area or cluster or industry. And at the very end, we also include here some additional documents that could perhaps help to contextualize the roadmaps, or perhaps even better, their strategic direction. Think here on white papers, and perhaps other SAP external pages, or perhaps even videos of describing functionality. So these are very popular assets that we receive and ensure that they are here available to our customers. Now, also with this expanded business view per area, per product, as said, per subcluster of products, or even per industry, we have a very, very important functionality. That is the industry view for the industries. And in addition, we link here all the industry cloud apps that SAP is launching to the market, either as own development or a co-development between SAP and partners, or even just a partner development that we have a contract also to sell and provide the support to. Now, more details, of course, in my demo. I think it's more, I would say, clear if I explain all the details in my demo. Nevertheless, here I would just like to give some heads up on what is coming then with this industry cloud. So the industry cloud, of course, is only showing up at the industry's business views. That is very important to understand. Again, in terms of the priorities, we focus on big topics, main themes, something that is really strategic for the particular industry. And then we make the connection to the planned product deliveries also via the industry cloud solutions. And what's really interesting here also for the audience to understand is that we have here now a full link. So there's a complete technical connection between our Road Map Explorer and an industry cloud solution repository, which is obviously something SAP internal. Still, we have a filter that really transmits to the Road Map Explorer via an API as described here, all the solutions that are ready to be displayed and shown to customers. And this is then the industry cloud. More details once I go through my demo. So what's then what gets displayed within the industry cloud? So I have here an example for this particular industry. It really works like this for all the others. So in the main page of the industry business view, we have displayed 3 industry cloud solutions, and that is really, I would say a design constraint that we only have space for 3, but then we have the button there to show all the others. So these 3 industry cloud solutions, they are showing here, depending on their availability status, whether they are planned or already delivered. Of course, there are some tags. And also in some cases, you will see that there will be a link to the SAP store where these solutions are available for customers to purchase directly. So that is really, our success to have connected the Road Map Explorer, the industry cloud topic, and also the SAP store. Now, I would like with this to jump into my demo. So Svea, be so kind to confirm that my browser is now visible.
Yes, your browser is visible.
Thank you so much. Okay, so let's then start with the demo. Now, I will not go through all the functionalities of the tool. There was already the previous SAP Community call that we have organized last summer. So today I will be focusing more on really explaining in detail the new functionalities, as said, the business view and the industry cloud topic. So how to access, first of all, how to access the business view. So the obvious thing is that you can go here as usual to the header menu, and now there is something new. So you will see a little blue dot behind each line. So here we are talking about product clusters or just products standalone, for example, S4HANA, SAP S4HANA Cloud. And then you have also this mouse over that really indicate that roadmap priorities are available. So I wanted here to say that because the functionality for us, it's still recent, so the content creation is in progress. And over time, there will be, of course, more business views with roadmap priorities available in the respective areas. So we are working on that yet. Good. So then first change, the little blue dot with the mouse over really indicates the business views. The same applies for the industries, as you can see here. So you have a little blue dot here and there. And the second way to access the business views is to come here to this middle section of our landing page. And just here indeed select, for example, ERP and Finance. And you will see that a little window underneath it will open. And from here, you can still choose to go to whichever business view that you would like to go. So I'm starting here in the products area, and then I will proceed to the industry area. So my example, so the business view of ERP and Finance. So you will see also that the photo takes some time to load. So depending, of course, on the speed of the internet connection. So the business view for ERP and Finance, and please let's now think that ERP and Finance is a cluster, and it's covering really a multitude of products. So what you have here reflected is or are the priorities for the area, not just for a particular product. That is quite an important detail. So first, let's start here. So ERP and finance. There's a typically very nice, very nicely written description, and we have here the button to go still to the full roadmap. So here I just click there to give the example. Here we reach our known roadmap detail view, and this is not really changed. So this is still what we had before. Now I'm going back. So, and proceeding really with explaining what is it that we have here. So we have for ERP and finance as a cluster, we have certain priorities that in the case here marked in yellow, they are on plan. Here, this is something for the future, so something in what we call also product direction. And here, of course, two of them that are already available. So we continue to have here again the possibility to jump to the previous screen that I just showed you, so to the detailed roadmap view. And now I would like to show you that here on the menu within or underneath ERP and finance, we have the same view for the product SAP S/4HANA Cloud. Click there. And now here we come. SAP S/4HANA Cloud is, of course, one single product. So these are the roadmap priorities for that product. And of course, it's a wide, big product, and there's a lot of items here. So mainly, we have organized them by LOB. And you can see that everything is marked, let's say, sales or service, or even R&D or supply chain. Also, what I wanted here to highlight is that in all the other areas, as said, content is work in progress. In all the other areas, we have either products, as it's the case here of this CRM and customer experience products, but in most of them, we do have here clustered products. So in manufacturing, for example, just to give the parallel, in manufacturing, we have, I can think now of at least 3 to 4 products contained here in this cluster. So we're not really talking about going a level deeper in the priorities, but sometimes we are somehow obliged to cluster them. So this is then the business view for the products area. It works the same for all the other products. So I like always to pull here, for example, database and data management. It has, or my opinion here, it really showcases a lot what is it that this BTP area is doing. And I wanted actually to show an example, I think, under analytics of the documents. Oh, maybe that was perhaps S/4HANA Cloud the better one. Well, there's no, I cannot find an example now of an item that has here related documents attached, but that's not bad. So you can check this anytime on your own. So this was it when it comes really to the business view of the products area. Now I would like to move to the business views of the industries, as it is really for us a very, very important topic, and I would like to give the audience some insights here. So again, as I would like maybe to go to our landing page. So the industries, just clicking here. If you just click there, you will see that all the 5 industries have a business view. So you can either access them here with the header menu, or directly coming here to the midsection, as I showed also before. I myself, when I'm making my demos, I always like to go to the header menu. It's a question of preference, I guess. So I take, for example, retail as one industry to start my example. So the industry retail is a very important one at SAP. So it's one that is typically chosen also for our demos and our examples, because it has really amazing content. So here the roadmap priorities have been defined by the respective industry. And typically these are really the strategic priorities for them, meaning that these are the topics that the industries communicate to customers, for example, via the white paper, so a way of thought leadership. And it really also shows the topics that each development unit is working on and delivering, of course. So in the first case here, we have a priority with 3 items now delivered. Also here, there is the possibility to show on the roadmap, meaning that for this particular priority here, if we click there, you will find here all the items that are already delivered and eventually also in plan. So here we only have delivered items. That's absolutely normal and fine. And also what I wanted to display here, an example of a roadmap priority. As you can see, it's also possible here to search items by roadmap priority, also a new functionality that we have. And in the case here of orchestrate consumer orders with SAP Order Management Foundation, there are a lot of items on the plan, and I'm sure that they will be delivered really on time and as planned. So let me get back once again. For the industry, then we have indeed now the strategic priorities, and now we have, I would say, the best functionality that we have launched since quite some time. So the industry cloud solutions view for, in the case here, the retail industry. So as I mentioned, this here is a connection between our tool, so a technical connection between our tool, Road Map Explorer, and also the repository where we store all these solutions. The external view of this repository is what customers popularly know as the SAP store. And also I will give an example of one solution to which we can directly jump to the respective store page. I will go there in a moment. So first, I would like to start here to say that as also I mentioned while presenting my slides, so we start by displaying here 3 industry cloud solutions. In the case of this industry, I have 3 of them that are still on the plan, so they are marked as yellow. All of these 3 are SAP solutions. That means that SAP is developing them on its own. And you also find here, so that is the ownership, first of all. Then we have the plan to date. And then we have the different tags for which these solutions have been developed. So anything on retail is about CX or customer experience, and of course the respective industry. Now I would like to show, should you have the interest on explore this further, if you click here on the button show all the industry cloud solutions, then you will find that we have in total 47. We have 4 that are in plan. So the 3 first are the ones that are shown in the previous page. And here down below, we have 43 solutions that have now or by now been delivered to anyone that wishes to purchase them or to implement them. So a few other details here. So first of all, as I mentioned, this is the ownership. And again, here, this is the ownership fashion rental. This is fully developed by the partner WePro Limited. And now this, the example that I was looking for. So if you click here on open in SAP Store, hopefully the page will open properly. There we are. So I opened a new window that really opens the SAP Store. And this is indeed the page of that new solution for fashion rental developed by partner WePro Limited. So here, of course, you are able to find all the necessary details about this solution, how you can purchase it, what's in it. And also, I guess, yeah, exactly, some benefits and features. And I guess for any sort of technical features, you need to connect to your SAP salesperson. So let me get back to my Roadmap Explorer. There we are. Another functionality that I wanted really to highlight here is that for SAP solutions, you either find the button View Roadmap Items or not. So when you find this button, it means that SAP has already deliverables out there in the market in the form of a roadmap item. Once you don't see it, as it's the case here, for example, on this solution, you will see that maybe this was either developed in the past, or there was no need really to create roadmap items. So I click here just to give the example. And you see here that we have in total 4 items that have by now been delivered. Getting back. And here we don't have, we don't have yet roadmap items, as they are still in plan. So I guess they will, this one here in particular will come sometime during this year. Sorry, this quarter. I wanted to say this quarter, Q1. And everything else will be Q2 and Q4. And then we will be able to see, if applicable, here the button to view the roadmap items. Okay, so I will take a second in industry, one that is also very popular within our community is automotive. And there we are with our amazing supercar. So for the industry automotive, we have defined 3 priorities. So same as I described before for the retail area. Again, there are deliverables, so roadmap items that are either in plan or already delivered. And you have always the possibility to show them on the roadmap, or in the same as I displayed for SAP S/4HANA Cloud and ERP and Finance, you have the possibility here to jump to the respective industry roadmap. Of course, this is the complete industry roadmap. It may not be so much meaningful to have everything together. So of course, the tool still offers the possibility to use here the different filters. For example, you may be interested in looking for items that affect only a particular product or products, something like a focus topic, for example, or very important, my experience also after receiving different feedback from different stakeholders internally, but also externally. A very popular filter to use here is the time horizon. So the default, whenever you go to a detailed roadmap, is that we start always from current quarter. You see here, this is Q1 2022. And of course, it goes to the latest. So the latest, it means until when we have information available in our repositories. So again, just to illustrate that the Roadmap Explorer continues to offer the possibility to start from a very high level. So with the business view for a cluster, for example, ERP and Finance, as I showed through my demo, then going to a particular product, and then even mixing industries with products, or even with a certain focus topic, for example, even a process. Okay, so with that, I'm getting back to my previous screen. And just here now to complete my demo with the view of the industry cloud for automotive. So we have here, of course, everything similar to what I just displayed to retail. So in the case here, we have the solution vehicle data platform, which is then a partner solution. So it's entirely developed by an SAP partner. It is planned for this quarter. There are still no items or even a link to the demo store page. So I hope that that will be maintained anytime soon. And we have still 2 others that are now delivered. And should you have interest in understanding more details, you just need to go to show all. And there we are. So we have in total 53 industry cloud solutions for this industry by now delivered. and they follow the same logic. So we have either our roadmap items or we open the link to the SAP store, which is working in the same way that I just displayed previously. And now I find actually what I was looking for. So the industry has here and very well linked two documents which really help to contextualize the respective priorities. So if I click just on one to view the asset, this is something also linking to the SAP store. So I just need to accept the cookies. There we are. And I was wondering also if this is a blog, an external blog, which really sometimes in a very short and crisp format also comments on the different priorities that an area, or in this case the industry, is or will be following. Okay, so with that, I am back to my slides. So there we are. So as said, as we explained already in the previous SAP community call, so I will not go through the basic functions of the tool. Should there be interest in another session, then please ping me on the SAP community or write us to SAP roadmaps, and I'm more than happy to organize a new session. So back to my slides, as I was just saying. So the resources, there's here some interesting resources that are quite helpful. I would highlight the videos and also here the SAP Road Map Explorer community, so our topic page, which is maintained on a very regular basis. So we are in the phase now of organizing webinars with different user groups. So one for the DSAG, another one for the English-speaking user groups, and eventually also others serving, for example, APJ locations. So any of these announcements will be always available at our topic page. So we invested here lots of time and effort on putting together a useful page for customers when it comes to information on the Roadmap Explorer. If you could spare the time to go through some blogs, I would definitely recommend for beginners the third one, so discover how to use the SAP Roadmap Explorer in 5 steps, and recently then the harmonizing the user experience with the Roadmap Explorer Business View. So in terms of resources, this is what we have. As an appendix to this deck, I've also included some very basic slides that serve normally as the Roadmap Explorer guide. So they really explain the basic functionalities. How does the search function works, for example? How do the filters work? And things like that. So it's quite straightforward. So it's about, I would say, 7 to 8 slides. And experience has shown that this is always a very good, let's say, conversation starter for any beginner user of the SAP Roadmap Explorer. For the ones that are a bit more experienced or even the advanced users, of course, you can always reach out to us with your questions. And here's then my thank you. And these are my contacts. You can either contact us on the SAP Roadmap Explorer topic page at roadmaps.sap.com. So this is the email address that is managed by our team, or you can reach out to myself directly via the SAP community. And with that, now, Svea, back to you for the Q&A.
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much for this insights about the SAP Roadmap Explorer. I think this is really, really helpful. And I also think it was really helpful that you mentioned all these resources in the SAP community, for example. So I have added during your presentation the links to the topic page and of course the tag link, which you can follow in SAP community. So there are a lot of resources. And finally, if you cannot connect with Isabel via community, then you can reach out to them via the email address, which is also in the chat. So when you maybe stop sharing your screen, screen, I want to so I have a couple of questions here for you. So you mentioned in the beginning that anyone is able to access the SAP Road Map Explorer as user, of course, and everyone can also create a user. But what happens when you are working in a company and you have multiple colleagues and you want to share those information? Is it possible to download somehow the roadmaps and share it with colleagues?
It is. So we have a functionality also available. It downloads the very detailed screen, which we call the Kanban board. So it's the screen where we have the items organized per quarter. It's a very basic download to Excel. So that is like the most straightforward way to share a roadmap. Alternatively, you can also share the link that you see on your browser to a particular roadmap. And that will direct, of course, whichever new user that clicks on that link to the exact same page as the initial user wanted to share with the colleagues.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds really good. And by the way, for the audience who are still listening to us, if you have a question right now, please use the chat to address this to us. And yeah, in the meanwhile, I was wondering how often the information in the roadmap will be updated.
Yes, very good question also. So we have started, once we launched it for customers in 2020, with a 2 times a week content refresh. Today now, for since about 1 year, we have a daily refresh. So meaning for us here in Europe, there's new content available as around 8 in the morning. So Monday to Friday, we have the tool always updated in terms of the content.
Oh, very good. So this is always up to date, folks.
Yes.
Please join the SAP Road Map Explorer. Also here in the chat, you can find the link directly to it. And one more question. So is SAP also still offering the roadmaps in slides? Is this also possible?
Well, no. So with the rollout of the tool externally, and because of course we would have always contradicting content because it's all about the update of the content. So we have extinguished the roadmap in slides. We have today only for exceptions available, but also it's not so infrequent question that I get, do we still have roadmaps and slides? And the answer is normally no, we don't. As said, there are 4 exceptions, different reasons behind. for exceptions that you also can find under sap.com/roadmaps. This will lead the audience to our roadmap page at sap.com. So it's an external page. But everything on that page is really about the Roadmap Explorer, the Roadmap Explorer for certain products like S/4HANA Cloud or BTP. And then there is a section called Classical Roadmaps, in which you can find these 4 exceptions. This is a page, however, that we are not promoting that much because, of course, we want to direct traffic to the Roadmap Explorer as we have there, as said, daily updated content.
Yeah, that makes absolutely sense to me. So that's a really good point. Yeah, and you mentioned a lot about Industry Cloud as well. So there is also in SAP Community and presence of Industry Cloud. So check out that Industry Cloud topic page as well to the audience. And here was also a question about the slides. Of course, we are going to share the slides Isabel presented after the call with you. So you can stay here in SAP YouTube channel there in this specific URL for this call. The slides will be added very soon, and then you can always refer back to all this information. Yeah, with having this said, I think I can only thank you for today's session. It was really a pleasure having you here with me. And yeah, I have heard that you had several offerings in the past, so I'm hoping and looking forward to the next sessions with you, Isabel, here on YouTube live streaming. So I wish everyone a nice day ahead, and thanks very much for joining today. And I hope to see you in one of the next calls. Thank you and bye.